assured Thurman that we would rebuild. We would make a new beginning. Today, a new barn stands on this site. Most of the items we lost in the fire, the tractors, the trucks, and the tack have been replaced. And by the way, we found a stud colt, a magnificent animal, a direct descendant of the stallion we lost. Against all odds, the loss that hurt the most and seemed irreplaceable had been restored. We named him TP New Beginnings. If you get up one more time than you get knocked down, you're a winner. Let's all make the day count. 2. Never out of reach. We live within the shadow of the Almighty, sheltered by the God who is above all gods. Psalm 91:1. We were in Iraq entertaining the troops. We were flying in a Chinook helicopter on our way back to the base in Baghdad from a show at the soccer stadium in the city of Balad. Balad had been our third show of the day. Earlier, we had flown to 2 forward operating bases. FOBs are small remote facilities with limited personnel and strategic missions. They hardly ever see entertainers who come overseas because most of them only travel to the larger bases, and they're very gratifying shows to do. The show in Balad had been very well received, and we were just winding up a great day. Flying back to our quarters in Baghdad, I heard a ping. What I realized later was likely a bullet piercing the outer skin of the helicopter and striking the armor plating under my foot. Suddenly, bright colored flares started firing, and the pilots jinked the Chinook hard left. We were under attack. The enemy on the ground was trying to bring us down with small arms fire and a rocket-propelled grenade. RPG. It was over about as fast as it had started. The RPG had missed, the small arms had done no damage, and we landed safely at the base in Baghdad. To be honest, I thought the whole thing was a maneuver the pilots were doing. I thought it was a practice run on evasive moves, having no idea there were people on the ground trying to kill us. In fact, I was never really afraid the whole time we were in Iraq. I was being prayed for back home and had made a decision to put my safety in the hands of God. Actually, it's always in the hands of God anyway. Trust in the one who is able to protect you in all circumstances. Let's all make the day count. 3. Faith and reality. If God is for us, who can be against us? Romans 8:31. Back in the 70s, when we were getting started, our foot was barely inside the door of the music industry. We were struggling, and we played our music just about anywhere we could get anybody to listen. Each small victory, receptive crowd, standing ovation, or word of encouragement was savored and converted into confidence to fight another day. The shows we played were small, or we played as an opening act for a larger band. But we were working hard, turning the crowds on and making headway, and our aspirations for the future were bright, to say the least. Then something that could have been very discouraging happened. One of the biggest, most famous, and influential concert promoters in the world made a statement that the Charlie Daniels Band would never make it. I don't know what prompted him to say such a thing. Maybe it was just an offhanded remark someone had overheard and passed along until it got into the media. But whatever the reason, it was hurtful, and it could have been discouraging if I had let it. What it came down to for me was this. Will I let what he thinks he knows override what I know I know? I believed this band had the potential to have hit records, to draw big concert crowds, and to make an international name for itself. And nobody, no matter how prominent he or she was in the entertainment business, could dissuade me from that opinion. So I put my head down and carried on. I used both the encouraging words and the discouraging words as fuel to keep fighting. My resolve was to take advantage of every opportunity, go the extra mile, and give it my all every time I walked on stage. I actually got to be friends with that promoter, and I worked for him many times over the years. He even introduced us one night as the great, great Charlie Daniels Band. If you can't get what you want, take what you can get and make what you want out of it. Let's all make the day count. 4. Hasty words. But no man can tame the tongue. It is a restless evil, full of deadly poison. James 3:8. There have been times in the heat of the moment that I have willfully said something hurtful to someone. Something spiteful or mean-spirited was said with the sole intention of inflicting pain or exacting revenge for some real or imagined slight. After delivering some scathing barb that hits home and has the intended effect of putting the other person in their place, I feel so remorseful.